Hello, my name is Alexander Almond, and this is a breakdown on demos and oddities from a man with no legends. I am a singer-songwriter and a college band performer. I have performed with many college bands from like the Almonds to what was originally called the Skeletons, but changed the Cult of Lazarus, and now I work with what is currently called Spaghetti Hoops. So this album was a result of me doing summer recordings like over the holidays. Like the Cult of Lazarus has just broken up, and I had nothing to do over the summer holidays other than use what I've learned from being in a band and experience songwriting wise. I took that and basically made like a whole album of just music and writing, really. This is my bloody song. This song is mainly the opener for the album, and its basic context is just me saying, well, I don't care what you say. I've made this bloody album. It's out there. Make what you will of it, really. But this is a bit of a weird one, because I originally started this track out with a guitar part. You know, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I just only had that to go off of. And I added like the drums and the bass part, and it sounded really like out of time. Well, to my ears, it sounded really out of time, to a point where originally, before I even write the lyrics to it, I was gonna scrap it and just put it to the side. But as soon as I had my girlfriend Wasp look over like what I had, she said, yes, it's a bit out of time, but I think you may have something here. And yeah, I kept on going with it, and this is kind of the result of it. I know it's not perfect, but then yet again, it's a demos album, so I don't expect every track to be perfect. So yeah. Harm. This song was based off one of my college friends that I had in my first year of performing arts. Originally, what I went to college for was to be a performing arts student, but since there was like so many people that I didn't really like on the course, and was ironically being dramatic, and not in the best of ways, always in like the bad ways. And I had this friend of mine who, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but she was quite known to be kind of on edge all the time, if I'm putting it very lightly. And she would always have people like worry like about her. Hell, she made everyone so worried to a point. Even I was worried. And it got to a point where I literally had to tell my college tutor like about a certain moment that happened over text, like what exactly happened, and they managed to got the safeguarding team, you know, around her. And I hope she's doing well these days, but it definitely left a mark on us, to a point where I just literally have to make this song. This song is also about the consequences of suicide and why not to do it in the first place. Like these days, people are losing their lives like over like certain things, and I just kind of want to reach out to those people and to say, hey, there's still people that care about you in this world, and just don't harm yourself or anything like that. In fact, Down below I'll put a description of some kind to help you get to a suicidal line, if you do feel that way. Jail to Fame. Jail to Fame is a song that I just kind of made up on the spot almost. Like, I made this little drum pattern that I quite like and made a very simple groovy sort of bass line to it. And when it comes to the lyrical context, I was struggling to come up with a song. And then I thought, why not just write as you go along? And the reason that I chose the name Jewel to start off with, like, my name is Jewel and I, was because Jewel is just only like a 2-syllable word. And not only that, but I think it's just kind of a genderless name. Like, you can apply it to any gender, whether it's female or male or what other genders are out there now. But yeah, I thought just to make just kind of like a simple song really, that is about going from way down below, then hitting famous, and yeah, making a conclusion to that. UK Domination. UK Domination is definitely my least favourite track on here. Not only because of that, it's very political, but I don't think I've really, in terms of the lyrical sense, I don't think I've done it that much justice. In fact, I did it as a result of the general elections and how a certain prime minister is in power right now. I'm not going to be naming any names because, yeah, I don't want to get too political here. Well, actually, I'm already political right now. It's really hard to talk about the song without, like, offending anyone at all. It takes a stab at certain parties that we'll not mention. Also, it kind of makes the comparison to the music industry, but I don't think I've done it that well. I like the intentions of the song, and it's actually worth sticking around because there's a proper awesome bass solo, like, near towards the end. Yeah, I like the instrumentals, even though, again, with My Bloody Song, it's a bit out of time. And that's kind of the problem with this album. It's a little out of time. And I like the intentions, but I don't think it really panned out that well, if I gotta be honest. Ghost of You / Teenage Kicks. Both of these songs are cover songs, but let me start off with The Ghost of You, because that was the first idea that came into my head. Now, what I intended to do with The Ghost of You was to kind of flesh it out a bit, because in my opinion, as much as I like My Chemical Romance's track, the start and end of the track don't really feel to me as quite fleshed out. It feels like sudden here, sudden start, sudden end, and there's nothing kind of like tail gaps in between both of them. So what my intention was to cover it, but also do something different with it. Like, yeah, I can add the two ends of the song, but what else am I going to do? Then I thought, why not make it a bit more folky? A little bit. You know, restrict it back with just like one guitar and make it quite sentimental in a sense. I don't think on the demo version it panned out as well as it did, but I think if I would cover it later down the line, I think it could turn out as a better track overall. But as it is now, I think it's fine as it is. It's a fine cover. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it is what it is. Teenage Kicks it's just simply there to respect my older band, the Cult of Lazarus. And yeah, it's just a nice simple song to add to the album and to pay respects to my old bandmates. Wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. Except for one of them, I'm still currently working with you. But yeah, I hope you're doing well for yourself. Interlude / Drummer Boy. Alright, so let me start off with Interlude. Interlude, or the one note experiment I put in brackets. The idea of it was, well, what else, to be kind of an interlude in the middle of the album. And how I came across it was, I had an idea for a while to do a song which is just literally one note. And I wasn't very restrictive of that note. And my challenge was to make a song out of it by using the notes that are the same, but in like completely different keys. And as the result of it, I made this really weird experimental sound that I thought, hey, this could be a really good interlude track. If I put some reverb and get some like certain sound effects in it, this could sound like really good. And yeah, as a result, this is the interlude. Now with Drummer Boy, however, I purposely made them like connective, just because, well, why not? It makes like a smooth progression into the other. I spoke to my girlfriend about this track, and she says it's her favorite on the demo album, and I couldn't agree more, because I think what I've done is a pretty good track, even for like a demo standard. It's mainly about a boy that gets special powers, special musical sort of powers, and he sort of becomes, what else but a drummer boy. Now, originally this track was meant to be called Raw Power, named after the album by Iggy and the Stooges, as an homage to it, as well as that's what kind of power he gets throughout the song. But somewhere along the line, I forgot what the track was called, so in turn, I just ended up calling Drummer Boy, because that's what the main character is. He's a drummer boy. That's his kind of special power, like a musical power. And also, originally, I was going to make it kind of semi-biographical here, and say that he gets like special guitar powers, special bass powers, but then I thought, wait a minute, this will sound a bit egotistical if I did it mainly about myself here. So I just kind of thought, well, what instrument could he use that I cannot play for crap? And drums kind of come to my head. I can keep a steady beat, like boom, tch, boom, boom, tch, but nothing too like Keith Moon-ish sort of thing, you know, being all over the drums and all that sort of stuff. How Love Cares. This song is a really personal one that I'll not explain the backstory behind it. Nothing to lose. Particularly as a kid that got silence in the first school days, like the first few years of my school. Yeah, I was always known for that, being that weird kid that would just be interested in Harry Potter. And, you know, I was quite silenced a lot by like other people, and whenever I tried to get into their conversations, I would always feel like left out in a lot of ways. And this song is for those people that feel like the voices are being like silenced and just need to get it out somehow. Like, you got nothing to lose if you don't put forth like anything. And if they reject you, maybe find a way around it. The end will soon come. This was inspired by a Led Zeppelin track called Your Time Will Soon Come by their first album. And you can easily hear it from like the first few seconds to even the rhythm of it slightly, although I would say it's really slow. And on the demo album is the full version of the track. Originally on the album I was going to make it like shorter and make it fade out, but then I was like, you know what, I think they'll get more out of it if they listen to like the full version of the track. Because there's, throughout the album, there's like always like very many secrets to be uncovered. Even the reveal trailer and the teaser trailer, there's like secrets like yet to be discovered to my knowledge. I encourage you lot to actually listen to the album and pick out the secrets. Some of them are reverse, some of them more subtle than others, but I think it'll be discovered probably. Maybe it'll not. And yeah, this is my breakdown of the whole entire album. And yeah, thanks a lot for, you know, having me talk about it. See ya.
Come on!